Let's have another conversation. I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm Natasha Oquendo. Listen, I had this thought that I wanted to talk about unlocking the power within. And even though I know that there are a lot of components to that, unlocking that power within, I want to go to the basics. And after that, we can build at some point, right? So, get your popcorn, get your notes, pen, paper, whatever you need to really sit down and dig deep because we're going to have a conversation, right? Um, we're going to talk about this from a perspective, right? Now, when we talk about a power within, I want to start out by saying, as a woman of faith, I believe the most powerful thing within is the Holy Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit, He is the power of God. But outside of that, these particular attributes that I'm going to talk about today, they have everything to do with a journey that the Holy Spirit will take you on. But in the same token, it has uh, relevance in the lives of those of us who just mere human, right? Just mere human beings. And so, in order to unlock that power within, right? I want to say number one is going to be a deep self awareness. Now, when I say this, I mean a deep self awareness. The more in depth awareness you are of yourself will be more in depth. You can unlock power of who you are, right? And when I talk about this now, this is outside of the keep it real culture. I'm talking about something much deeper than the keeping it real. You know how because I keeps it real, and we are really on the bandwagon with the keep it real culture. But this is something more in depth than that, and I just kind of want to explain so we'll get an understanding. But having a deep self awareness is having accurate knowledge of your strengths and your weaknesses, right? Um, Being able to admit the areas where you're wrong, right? Being able to do that in a healthy way, being able to say, I battle with jealousy, right? And I'm using this as an example, but being able to really look at yourself and look at myself and analyze and say, these are my battles, these are my struggles. And being able to look at those struggles without spiraling into this depression or this spiraling into this unhealthy view of self worth, right? And so when I talk about this, because I know that the deepest, the most powerful deception is self deception. To be able to deceive yourself about yourself is the deepest deception. And I believe that when you are deceived about who you really are, and your components and your makeup of who you really are, then I tend to believe you tend to draw that deception, right? Tend to draw a lot of deception. And so, um, if you find yourself in situations where somebody is always deceiving you and you're not able to really pick up on the true attribute of an individual, then that means those are indicators that you need to take a real deep dive into self awareness, right? And I'm saying being able to acknowledge your strengths, and that's something all of us can do, and we will capitalize on our strengths, and nothing is wrong with that. But also having that healthy balance of being able to acknowledge our weaknesses, right? And being able to acknowledge those things that come about in such a way in our lives that we're able to really, really just analyze it and look at it. And when we're able to do that in a healthy manner, then that really unlocks a power within us. We're able to look at it, we're able to see it, we're able to acknowledge it. And then that positions us, right, to be able to begin to do something about it, which leads me into number two. Now, Number two is to embrace the need for change, right? That means you're able to acknowledge the need for changes that need to be made. You're able to look at areas within your character, look at areas within your life, look at areas. Um, and I want you to understand this. This is way different from the areas that we want. Wants and needs are different, right? And let me give you an example. Being able to uh, peg places in our attitude that need adjustment, that need change. Being able to peg areas or avenues in our mindset in the way we think and acknowledge that needs to change, right? That needs to change. Being able to look at character flaws that we have and say that needs to change. Being able to see areas within us that may be dysfunction or may have been birthed out of dysfunction, whether it's dysfunction in our bloodline and we all just got this dysfunction, or whether it is dysfunction from things that I've been through within my life and now I have developed this thing and now it's not serving me well, right? And so I'm saying that to say being able to embrace the need to make necessary changes for your betterment is a way that unlocks power deep within you, right? And being able to actually put in the effort, being able to know that this is different. I may not, and see, when you acknowledge changes, the necessity for changes in areas in your life, in your mindset, in the way you view, in the way you think, in the way you navigate, the way you move, and what you do, then what you're really doing is getting yourself prepared to go to another level, right? Um, Anytime another level is presented, it seems like problems are the introduction to it. And normally it's problems within us, whether we need to change our eating habits, whether we need to change uh, lifestyle habits and different things like that, mindset habits, whatever it is. And so we are preparing ourselves to really unlock the power within, right? And so making that a part of your lifestyle, and like I say, doesn't take you down into a negative spiral concerning self, right? And so number one was deep self-awareness, self-mastery. That deep self-awareness leads you into self-mastery. And the more you're able to master yourself, the more you're able to unlock the power within. And then number two was definitely embracing the need for change, embracing that and being able to determine a need versus a want or a desire. And the power is in going in the way of your need, even if it goes or contradicts your desire or what you want. That's powerful. The third one I want to share is to exercise gratitude. Now, this one, though it may be taken lightly, is potent. It is powerful because what I've come to realize, and maybe you've fallen into this, I've fallen into this at some point, but we can become professional complainers, professional complainers. And what I have realized about complaining is the more you complain, the more things remain the same or spiral into worse. It's something about you opening up your mouth to complain, 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 instead of really, really trying to find a solution. The solution seems like it never appears to a complaining person, right? And so exercising gratitude is your way of doing the opposite of complaining, right? Let me give you an example. When you're exercising gratitude, there may be negative things jumping off in your life, right? On and off, everywhere. And when you exercise gratitude, it is a conscious decision to do so. And when you make that conscious decision, you're saying, and I'm giving you an example, I see all of this negativity, but you're able to pull things out to be thankful for or to be grateful for. This could have went that way, but I'm glad it didn't go that way. And I see it's like you can see the good in all the negative. You're able to pull out the good from negative situations and circumstances. Now, with that being said, now, because you have to consciously choose gratitude, and I'm talking about daily, daily in instances daily. Um, but when you do, what I want you to know is the exercising of gratitude, one thing it's going to do is stimulate emotional positivity in your life, meaning it's going to stimulate you to be emotionally positive, which is going to help combat depression and all of those different things and anxiety and all of those different things. Another thing it does is grants you a positive outlook on life. It grants you, even in negative situations, it'll give you the leeway to be granted a positive outlook. You'll be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And this helps even those who are triggered with uh suicide and stuff like that. Being able to combat those different feelings, being able to combat those different things that come up in your mind like that. Another thing that exercise and gratitude does is it ignites good life experiences, right? If you start being able to really exercise, it's no different than exercising your body. It gets stronger. And then you start getting results. You start seeing things change when you're doing it consistently. And so when you're exercising gratitude consistently, what you're doing is building up your life to experience good things. Why? Because the outlook is good. And I want you to know this too. Another thing, gratitude does so much, y'all. But another thing that I notice that can go just undetected about exercising gratitude is it improves your overall health. It has the ability to improve your overall health. And so I wanted to put that in as number 3. Now, number 4. Number 4, when it comes to unlocking the power within you. And these are not by far all, but these are to get you started, to get you focused, to get you thinking, to get you moving. Let it go. Yes. Your ability to let it go. What does that mean? Letting go of past hurts, letting go of past failures, letting them go. And when I say letting them go in a healthy way, letting go of past frustration, letting go of disappointments. And even when you feel like people have done you wrong, and also when you have done wrong, being able to let those things go in order to move forward in your life. And so I want you to understand that the quicker you're able to truly let things go, then you position yourself to receive in what's better, right? So when I say that, if somebody wrongs you, being able to really let it go, road rage on the road, let it go. The waiter or the waitress mishandled your order, let it go. You have done somebody wrong. Apologize. Truly, sincerely apologize. And then let it go, right? The sincerity of you being able to let things go in a healthy manner opens you up to be receptive of the good things, the better things that are necessary for your life to increase, to go to a better place, to go to another level, right? And so these are ways to unlock the power within. And the last one that I'm going to share for today will be staying focused. That'll be number 5, staying focused. Your ability to stay focused. Now, when I talk about this, I'm not just talking about your ability to stay focused on your goal. That is one perspective. But I'm talking about being able to maneuver through distractions. Because anytime that you decide that you're going to accomplish something, whether that be changing eating habits, whether that be an exercise regimen, whether that be your business, planning out your business and moving in that, whether that be ministry, whether that be whatever life goals or changes, right? The biggest enemy is going to be distraction. That's going to be the biggest enemy. And now, if you learn how to master distractions, meaning you can see the things happening, you know what level of your attention to give to it as necessary, but you know how to not be so overwhelmed or so overcome by the distraction that it stops your movement, right? And that distraction can be people as well. It can be situations, circumstances, problem. It can be your children. It can be your spouses, your significant other. It can be a lot of different things. Now, one of the things that I want to say about being focused is developing that ability to not compare yourself. When you are staying focused, that means that you're not being too distracted by the activities of others, but you're focused on your goal. You're focused on your plan. You're focused on the download of ideas that you are getting. And you're not comparing your results to the next person, or you're not comparing what you've got and abandon what you've got in order to go in another direction, right? And so there's something that unlocks the power within you when you're able, when you develop that ability to not be veered off course or veered off track by what somebody else got going on or what somebody else may appear that they're doing. Whether you're comparing what you got going on to theirs, if theirs is better or bigger or whatever the case, but there's something that unlocks the power within you when you master your focus and you learn how to navigate in your focus without being thrown off by the distractions, right? And when I talk about that, comparing yourself to somebody else's, when it takes you off course, and then when you had a course and had a plan and you completely change it to start doing what somebody else is doing, the way they're doing it or how they're handling it, versus your own legitimate download, your own authentic download, right? There is a power that you unlock on the inside of you when you're able to take the steps, because somebody else's path is different than yours. And though, now don't get it wrong, because there is a power, and I didn't want to go into this one, but there is a power in being able to get the necessary help you need as well. That's a different thing than what I'm talking about now. But as you go into your goal, or as you go into what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, and even what you're focusing on concerning yourself, even if you're doing self work, make sure that you're able to keep your focus until the thing comes to completion, right? And so these are just very few, I would say, some of the different things that I know that have unlocked the power within me. And even with the Holy Spirit walking me through these things, the Holy Spirit, and when you have faith and you have the Holy Spirit in your life, He's going to take you in this direction that I'm talking about. But there are some of us that, don't acknowledge the Holy Spirit in our life or whatever the case. But these are just some humanistic principles that you can put in place and begin to exercise in your life and begin to see results, right? So I wanted to come on and just share these. Listen, go ahead and go into the description and click and download my free gift. This is going to give you some more insight into what I was talking about even today. Hey, till next time, be blessed. Mwah! Talk to you soon.